This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
The following episode contains themes that may be distressing to some audiences. See our show notes for a full list of content warnings, as well as links to transcripts. This is the madness of Chartrulean. Episode 9, The Worm.
If we don't remove it now, it will kill him prematurely. Our plans could be forfeit.
Cydar, you've done your part in helping us deliver the worm. But try not to let this extraction kill you just yet.
Raoul would never die before fulfilling the extent of his duty.
Now, I need you to be perfectly still. This will require a delicate hand.
Careful, brother.
Dreschen uncorked the lid of a metal flask filled with a strange, pungent fluid. He brought it to Cydar's open mouth. As he did, Cydar's body began to convulse, eyes rolling back into his head. Dreschen and Grobian stayed close, unmoved by the sight of their writhing comrade. First, a single, fleshy, gray tendril peeked out from Cydar's nostril. Then another. The tendrils wrapped themselves around Cydar's chin and neck. The worm, not quite solid and not quite liquid, pulled itself free from its host at last, morphing and stretching as it moved. The worm pulled itself along using its fleshy, amoeba-like appendages and disappeared with a plunk into the metal flask.
Into the bottle you go.
The second he was free of it, the old blue-haired ambassador looked somehow deflated. His breathing slowed and the tremors subsided. All that was left was an empty shell, even closer to death than before.
Nicely done.
A dignified expiation, if I do say so myself.
It's handled well. Some take better to the worm than others. I'd say he has done well.
It won't last long without a host. We must move quickly.
So, are we just going to stand here on the balcony until that door opens?
Well, I don't see what other options we have.
Let's just hope our assumptions are correct about who uses it.
There they are.
Meanwhile,
be quiet so I can focus. Here they come.
What's wrong with you? Come on, dog.
Surprise.
Oh, what are you doing in my room?
I've come to make peace.
And I don't want to talk to you.
Too bad. I guess I'll have to tell your father that you've been sneaking out.
What do you want?
I don't want you to do anything stupid.
Oh, really? What exactly do you think I would do?
I have a pretty good imagination.
Is that all you have to say to me?
No. There's more. With the row here, we're dealing with substantial security concerns. Does that make sense? We can't be sneaking around.
Whatever.
And Loam, you know better than to enable bad behavior.
He's my guardian. He listens to me.
That's a problem, isn't it? Can I beg you for a moment with the prince? It's hard to argue with him when you're breathing down my neck.
Fine. You heard him. Out.
About justice. You had no right to arrest him. Clearly you're torn up about it. So torn up that you spent your entire day canoodling somewhere.
You're trying to build is one that people like me can't participate in. So why should I even care?
People like you?
The loveless, the discarded, the broken.
Is that how you see yourself?
How else would I see myself? I've never been able to compete with my sister, not even for 5 minutes of father's attention. He secretly wishes I was never born.
That doesn't mean you can ignore your responsibilities as a Starbringer.
What? I go to parties, I tag along to all these stupid public events. I'm present. What more do I have to be?
You are just like your grandfather, content with doing the bare minimum. If you want to change the lineage conversation and compete with your sister, you have to change your attitude.
Don't think I don't see what you're doing. You're not working with my father. You're trying to be him when he's not looking. Otherwise, why would you be here now?
Because I needed to say what he obviously will not.
And why won't he say it?
He doesn't know how.
And you do? You are overstepping your bounds, Chamberlain. How dare you?
How dare I? I'm not the one who wilted at the sight of a political adversary, out in the open, for all to see.
You, of all people, should know how I feel.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't think I need to explain it. Now get out of my room or I'll have Loam throw you out.
This is not resolved.
I don't care. Loam, what's wrong? What's wrong with your eyes?
I'll send for Dr. Tomlin.
Maldoro walked briskly through the antechamber of the Jardejo temple. His pursed lips formed a straight white line across the bottom half of his face, and his eyes were molten amber. The pock-pock of his cane striking the floor resonated throughout the temple, warning of his approach. He reached an ornately carved door at the end of the corridor and pushed it open. On the other side was a room with a long, black stone table in its center. 5 well-dressed men and women were there, joined by a royal messenger. Magagoso, dressed in a monk's frock and stole, stood with the messenger. The look on Magagoso's face and the nervousness of the messenger set the expectation of bad news.
What's the meaning of this intrusion? Can't you see we have more important things to do?
I bring a message from King Starbringer.
I won't hear it. You can inform your king that any Starbringer loyalist that sets foot in my temple will face the full extent of Jardehel law. Under this roof, he is not king. I am. Have this maggot removed, and consider this a warning for yourself for letting him in. Magagoso.
You might want to hear what this young man has to say.
You have 1 minute to make it interesting. Then out.
The Rao ambassadors have asked to come to the temple.
What business could they have here?
One of them is dying. They want his final hours to be observed here, at the temple, under our customs. As a show of unity.
I'll think it over and send a message once we've decided. Now get out.
Yes, Lord.
Don't lord me.
Well, thoughts?
I'll need more time to process this.
I think it'd be an interesting opportunity. We don't get visited by members of an alien race every day.
The Rao are our mortal enemy. What message would it send to the masses if we agreed to this?
One of peace?
Too presumptuous. I'd rather not involve myself in any capital business. They've made it clear they don't value our opinion. Do you have something to say?
How much longer are we supposed to impose these rations?
Our farmers are being negatively impacted.
Keep on it for a few more days. Then throttle the water supply.
But, sir...
We have to show King Starbringer who's really in control of this city. Have you come here to disagree with me? Or have you come to help me crush the monarchy?
With all due respect, all I see us crushing is the people.
Either by design or complete oversight. King Starbringer has yet to retaliate.
There's nothing he can do. I'm the one sharing a table with the men and women who have the power to turn Simitu on and off at will.
That won't last long. He has Astreus and Lapidine.
If the calamities showed us anything, it's that Lapidine's support isn't airtight. Even his generals can be bribed.
Enough speculation. We're shifting our focus to Chartrulean. Without him, House Starbringer is powerless.
Chartrulean has every protection. Are you sure it's worth it?
We must find a way to dismantle Astreus and demonstrate how dangerous the Azuria truly is.
Even if it's a lie?
It is no lie. Where is your allegiance, Magagoso?
With Jardehel, my lord.
Then prove it. Find me a way into Astreus.
I'd never get past Lapidine.
Then get creative.
Heads up. Here's more. A lot more.
Are you sure you want to get rid of all these clothes?
None of this is here because I wanted it. You're more than welcome to anything.
No, there has to be some other way to burn off this pent-up energy of yours. At least spare your wardrobe.
I'm trying to keep my mind off of Astreus.
That again.
I did my part. Got out of a ship.
Then what's the issue?
I just wish I could be of more help. For the paladins, if nothing else. But the right kind of help. Not just a drain. So, I'm just trying not to think about it.
Didn't your father ask you to spend some time there?
He'd probably rethink that if he knew everything.
About what Chartrulean said to you?
No, about how I just don't know how to do these things.
Okay, what could you do right now anyway?
I don't even know. Ugh, it just makes me so mad. When I first met Chartrulean, I thought, here's a person I can actually understand. I thought he'd be different. More like he was in my dream.
See, this is exactly why I don't want to encourage you. Dreams are dreams. Nothing more.
I think I'm gonna go ask for my mom's brooch back.
I think that's a good idea.
There has to be more to the world than watching these great men play war.
Are you really getting rid of that?
Yup.
Oh, but it's so pretty.
I want to look like an old maid. Bleak and undesirable.
Oh, why are you still here?
Why are you here?
I live here.
Me too.
Yes, but
Shouldn't you be at Astreus, planning your ship?
Didn't Chartrulean tell you? He said it was impossible.
That's not the story I got.
Wait, what did he tell you?
That you inspired him to take Astreus in a new direction. He showed me some of your ideas, and I thought there were some very good ones. Although the bugs and trees seemed to be of particular concern, I don't think they'll make the cut.
This is a nightmare. I don't want a ship.
No need to worry. Think of yourself as a shareholder in the most iconic engineering feat in recent history. It's an arrangement he seemed much more comfortable with. And he's naming it after you.
No, I have to go stop this madness. I can't just go back there, though. I'll be put off. I need a reason.
I just gave you a reason. Go.
Yes, there's someone I need to talk to first.
It's always empty threats with these people. Even here there's wine. Not very good wine.
I see the warden is treating you well, Josquin.
Well, if you're here to gloat, spare the energy.
In that case, I'll be leaving.
How long do you plan on keeping me down here?
Until we decide what to do with you.
Does the council know I'm here? And the king?
He's aware. The council will be informed of the situation once their current obligations are fulfilled.
And how long will that be?
However long it takes to settle things with the Rao.
I should be up there with them now.
You forfeit that privilege on your own.
Is that what standing up against social injustice is to you?
We can't be screaming about domestic issues with them present. You just use the council chamber as a stage.
I would never.
It's what you do. And I noticed you wore the red cape. The red cape always spells trouble.
I'm the one who's been knocking on doors, talking to people and finding ways to solve their problems. They're exhausted by the theater. They want stability.
In other words, you've been rallying support behind our backs and exploiting the misfortunes of those less fortunate than you.
King Starbringer is letting people go hungry. Open your eyes.
Your heart appears to be in the right place, but why all these extreme tactics? The tabloids, the threats of insurrection? It's just sloppy work, and we'll get you nowhere.
It's called being relatable. It's what makes you and I different.
Don't pretend you and I have ever been on the same level when all you've ever done is give me a headache.
Oh, right. Unlike you, my career wasn't fast-tracked by the Starbringers. I am entirely self-made.
Oh, so now being smart is cheating at life. Well, with that, I wish you the best of luck.
Where are you going?
To talk to the captain of the guard. You didn't think I made a special trip down here for you, I hope.
Wait!
Captain. Any luck locating Abraset?
Josquin hasn't given us any useful information. Either he doesn't know, or we need to push him a little harder.
Let's not make him too ugly just yet. But cut off the wine. Here are 2 more names to add to the list, assuming our informant is still reliable.
As far as I know. Liebender and Pytra, what do you want me to do with these 2?
For now, let's just watch and learn from a distance. Actually, better yet, get eyes and ears inside every food purveyor in Simitu and find out what's really going on.
There's something else you should know.
Let me guess. Josquin's had a visitor.
He has.
Anything useful come of it?
Not as far as we can tell.
Continue to log their conversations. I want records of every interaction.
Yes, sir. Is that all?
For now.
There you are.
Sophrosyne, you shouldn't be down here.
Can I talk to you?
Make it quick. I'm between catastrophes.
Okay, this ship thing with my dad is a disaster.
Well done. What's your point?
Well, he wants me to oversee it, but I don't think Chartrulean wants me around. Thanks for that. So what am I doing wrong?
What's anybody doing wrong?
See, that's the thing. He's in this little echo chamber where people just walk on eggshells around him. He needs help, but just takes everything I say as criticism.
And that's problem number 1. You're approaching it like a charity case.
Then how should I approach it?
There's something you need to understand about Chartrulean. There's a reason Astreus is spread so thin. He is very smart, and very good at driving away anyone he perceives as a dead weight.
He thinks I'm dead weight?
He probably doesn't know what to make of you. Problem number 2 is that surface Sophrosyne is bossy and likes to talk in circles.
Hey!
Show him who you really are. Once he identifies your strengths and decides they're of some benefit, he might change his tune. But if you push anything on him, he'll push back 10 times harder. Thinking about it now, it's a surprise I was able to get him to come to the banquet.
No, he came because he trusts you.
He came because he must have seen some logical reason to. That's how he works.
So then he has a logical reason to trust you.
The Chartrulean and I keep each other honest. There's nothing logical about it.
That can't be all.
When our friendship began, it helped that in an odd way we needed each other. There was a clear benefit for both of us.
Well, he still needs you.
I don't know about that. Anyways, that's not what you were asking.
So just be myself.
That's a very simplified way to put it, but in essence, yes. I don't know what you're after, but don't expect him to show you any kindness. I made that mistake long ago. Let mine be a cautionary tale.
In the days since Lapidne's summit, Astreus had returned to its state of semi-orderly chaos. Adding to the chaos, a man with shoulder-length hair and large spectacles walked through the front door carrying a small-scale model of a ship. Loris. Loris's presence was a compromise that Chartrulean resented, but one that would speed things along considerably.
I've been dying to see how Astreus has changed since my stint here. Maybe, if you succeed in putting my company out of business, I can come back and work for you.
Maybe I'll reinstate you now, if you show me something I like.
You can't just poach people. Not to mention, I'd have to want to come back.
Why wouldn't you want to?
If I remember correctly, the last thing you said to me was, "Get out of my sight, you worthless sack of carbon." Then you kicked a hammer at me.
Well, as I recall, you were inscrutable, and I was idealistic. At least one of those scenarios has improved.
Well, unfortunately for you, I'm still hard to deal with.
Is that the model I asked for? Here, give it to me. I hate your fuselage design. These joints look like child's toys. But your overall concept is a good start.
Okay, let me just say something. I know Lapidne is probably pushing for this contract, but if I see any inkling of this relationship not working, I'm inclined to walk away.
Actually, this partnership was my idea. You are familiar with how we do things here, and no other contractor has that insight. So you're least likely to waste my time.
Thank you, I think.
Step aside.
Great, here's the change order. Respond within a week if you think it's feasible within the proposed timeline.
This is extensive.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm a busy man, Loris.
What if I have questions?
I command you to step aside.
What are you doing here?
I have to talk to you.
Let the princess and her guardian enter.
Finally.
Keep it brief.
I can't believe you agreed to the ship.
You said you don't want it, so why would you even care?
Because you said it's a stupid ship, that you'd probably never build it. Did you lie to me?
You think I would do something to embarrass you?
I don't really know, do I? Maybe there's a cruel sense of humor hiding under all that fur.
The bugs and trees were your idea, as I remember.
Oh, you cannot be serious.
You can leave any additional grievances with Portia and see yourself out. I was in the middle of something.
Wait, just 1 minute.
Don't touch me.
Fressie, let's just leave him alone.
I didn't mean to grab. Sorry.
Maybe we should come back another time.
No! I'm going to get what I came for.
1 minute. That is all you get.
I wanted to...
Chartrulean! The paladins set part of the gymnasium on fire.
Has it been extinguished?
Yes?
Is anyone injured?
Not this time.
How extensive is the damage?
I'll go check.
I should go see if they need help.
Of course.
If he raises his voice to you again...
Just go. What's wrong?
This headache. It makes it impossible for me to think.
Oh, I'm really good at headaches. Can I try something on you?
Absolutely not.
No, seriously. Is there a place where you can sit down?
There is a chair around the corner.
No, come with me. Well, here, this one looks comfortable. Sit.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to touch you a little. Will you bite my head off this time?
No. Sophrosyne,
Look, I know painful memories when I see them.
I don't miss my youth.
I don't think you're telling me the whole story.
I am not obligated to tell you anything. That story will die with me if I can help it.
Ooh, that sounds terrible.
Why do you always laugh at me?
Try laughing with me sometime. If you take everything so seriously all the time, you're just going to give yourself more headaches.
You laugh when nervous and only smile on command.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to coach me on my attitude, either examine your own first or work on your transparency.
You got me there. Now lie your head back. I just need to find where the headache is being triggered.
You need to what? Ah!
Now, stop squirming. If this is going to work at all, you have to relax.
How can I relax with you jamming your thumbs into my skull?
I'm not even pressing that hard.
Well, press less.
Do you even know what it means to relax? Look
Okay,
at these shoulders.
Ow!
Not so fast. This will only take a minute.
You have already been here one more minute than I allowed in the first place.
Why are you like this?
Be more specific.
Specifically, awful. I'll take your sudden silence as a sign it's working.
This is fine.
There's something kind of embarrassing I have to bring up. I'd like you to return my mother's brooch.
Why?
To be honest, when I gave it to you, I had this expectation that something big would happen. Something that would answer a lot of questions. But now I see how stupid I was to think like that. You don't want or need gifts from me. Now I'm afraid I've just burdened you with something you didn't ask for, and it'd be best if I just took it back.
I am admittedly a poor steward for anything of value. For that reason alone, I would return it gladly, but I am sorry that the reason is that I disappointed you.
Well, now I feel terrible.
Why should you? It was never mine.
After this, I promise to stay out of your hair for good.
I have to tell you, though, it has been driving me crazy.
What has?
The brooch. I tried to read the inscription, but the meaning is so far lost on me.
It doesn't have an inscription.
It does. Hidden.
Hidden where? Chartrulean. Did you fall asleep? Are you pretending? Well, that's weird and sudden. I wish you could be this at ease all the time. You're too much of a fighter for your own good. Wait a minute. These scars on your neck.
True.
Shh.
Great. He's asleep.
Should I wake him up?
No, just let him go. He doesn't wake gracefully. If you can wake him at all.
Does this happen a lot?
Yeah, he just works himself to the brink, and it happens where it happens.
Hey, what happened to the gym?
We've done worse. Actually, I'm glad I ran into you. Do you have a minute?
Sure.
I have a bit of a favor to ask of you. Like a really, really huge one.
Okay.
Well, in just a few days, True and I are going to Idrica to get more Jardakai interested in coming here. Unfortunately, the coming here part has been a bit of a challenge, and both Lapidine and Borsha are kind of at their limits with other stuff. And I thought seeing as you're the princess and all, you might be able to use some of that Starbringer connection to make some things happen.
Like what?
It's kind of a long list. Would you come back tomorrow and go over it with Lapidine and I?
Not Chartrulean?
There are only so many particulars he can be bothered with right now.
I don't think he would be very happy about it. In fact, I just promised to stay out of his hair.
The man is building a ship with your name on it. Do you honestly think he wants you to stay away?
Well...
And it's technically half yours, so you have every right to be here. If he gives you a hard time, just talk to me.
Okay, whatever you say. Hey, can I see your hand?
Sure, but it's not pretty.
It's okay. I'm not bothered by it.
Wow, your hands are really soft.
What?
Oh, it's just not something we're really used to around here, I guess. You know, factory.
Well, I have the magic touch, apparently. Does it hurt? The berserker?
Sometimes. The hardest part has been watching it affect us in other ways. True and I, we've always been at odds, but now it's like, I don't know, things that we want are just so far apart.
Are they, though? I think he feels just as lost as you.
Well, hopefully there's some help for him in Idrica. For all of us, that is.
Why? Is he in danger?
You don't know, do you?
The Madness of Chartrulean was created by H.M. Radcliffe. Original music by Sean Renner, performed by Sean Renner and the Invoke String Quartet. Sound mix by H.M. Radcliffe and Edward Calvi, with additional sound design by Will Fox. Narrated by Michael de la Mancha. Starring Aud Andrews, Chris Bellinger, Magnus Carlssen, Christian Collado, Adrian Galley, Kathleen Klein, Angela LaRocca Hockman, Steve Lefevre, Heath Martin, Adam Neal, Nina Nikolic, Carl Nordman, Kennedy Phillips, Abraham Shaw, Danielle Yonkers, and featuring the voices of Robert Bilodeau, Morgan Ganal, Quinn Ford, Bradley Gareth, and Madeline Norton. This has been a Pack Howl Media original production. Visit Chartrulean.com to learn more.
If you're a fan of immersive audio fiction, you won't want to miss out on these shows from Pack Howl Media. The Madness of Chartrulean.
Will this world accept my vision of the future? Or is all of this a mistake?
The Nebulous Saga.
You killed my family. They killed mine. And for 10 years, I've been making the Alliance pay.
Tales for Howling at the Full Moon.
It is not my worth that brings me here. It is my calling.
Another day, another chosen one.
To learn more about our shows and find out how to support independent creators, visit packhowlmedia.com.